Hello everybody and welcome to Fruits Basket Season 2 Episode 21 Anime Review. First thing I'm going to do, apologize, this episode is a day late. Couldn't do it yesterday, it happens sometimes. I've probably said that before, but doesn't make it any less true. Second thing I'm going to apologize, if you hear some wind blowing, it is very windy right now. And I can't do anything about it really, although I would love to be able to just turn the wind off. That would be an awesome ability, but however, unfortunately, it's outside of my possession right now. But anyway, on to the actual episode. Christ, gee, where do you start, you know? It's not a surprise anymore for Fruits Basket to punch me in the gut. But that doesn't mean I don't get punched in the gut. Just because I see the punch coming doesn't mean I don't get punched, is basically what I'm saying here. It's just, yeah, it was basically a Yuki backstory episode, and it was good, it was awesome. There was some mother zoning at the end, more on that at the end, obviously. And Akito, I feel like there's more to him now, you know? There's gotta be something we haven't been told, and that is a scary thing, because I want to hate you, Akito. I don't want you to be, you've done so much wrong. I don't think I can ever forgive you, but I want to understand. Anyway, let's get into the episode and see how everything went down. Let's do this. We begin with Kid Yuki meeting Akito for the first time and everything. His mum told him don't cough in front of him because coughing is annoying apparently. When he sees him, he has immediate fears and conflicting emotions and stuff because of the bond, but he doesn't know how to think and everything. It's pretty weird, you know, but from then on, from when they met, he was Akito's playmates and everything. It kind of weird because this Akito, I mean, he's sort of still a little brat. Like, he's a kid at this point. He's sort of a brat at this point. But he's not like the evil son of a bitch we know, like, now. Like, he just seems like a bit of a prickish kid, you know what I mean? But he's not a terrible, awful, not the type of person that would do all the bad things he's done yet. Let's put it like that. So I feel like there's more then. And he's cried before when they were like, yeah, he used to cry. I'm like, what? Akito crying? That's not something that registers in my brain, quite frankly. But then at some point, Akito became twisted and started painting the room black and everything, and then started on that he's needed, he's the chosen one, and Yuki he's not needed by anyone, he was abandoned, all this other stuff. So someone told Akito something. My money is on the woman that has been mentioned a few times, and the one that Kurino, like, we don't see her face, but Kurino was talking about. My money's on her because, I mean, when Akito started on about how, like, you know, he's projecting basically the old you're unneeded, you're unwanted, all that. Probably he's been told that, and then he's picked it up and he's like, no, I'm the best, I'm the chosen one, you know. He's taking it out on Yuki basically. What happened to him is what I think. I could be far off, but I feel like Akito has more to him now than what we've been told. I still don't like him. You know, this doesn't redeem him in any way, but it's nice to have an explanation. More stuff like, you're my toy, I can do whatever you want with you, nobody cares about you, the rat is hated by everyone. Yeah, Yuki got a lot of abuse seemingly out of nowhere from Akito. Like, obviously at this point we know it's been going on for years, but the start of it sort of came out of the blue. Makes me think there's something on the Akito side that we've not been told that sort of triggered this change, is what I think anyway. And my money's on that woman, is where I'm at. Maybe she knows how to break the curse. That would be handy, wouldn't it? One day, Yuki hears about the cat, because he's never met the cat. He's never really spoken to anyone, but he's never met the cat. Then one day he did meet the cat. The cat obviously is Kyo, in case you forgot. In case you forgot? In case you forgot, that's what we'll go with. He met the cat outside, you know, watching the banquet from outside, like the story goes and everything. Kyo is all like, I'll never forgive you, it's all the rat's fault that, you know, I have to suffer like this, basically. Blames the rat for everything he's going through, even the stuff that the rat really had nothing to do with. But, yeah, no, Yuki then, after getting shouted at by Kyo, goes to see his mum, who smacks him one for running off. So Yuki has it kind of bad on all fronts at this point, so not great. And this is what started off his pitch black path of no hope, is what I wrote in my notes, which is a lot of strong words to describe it, and eventually it went on for so long he started believing all the stuff Akito was telling him, oh, you know, no one likes you, you know, no one cares, all that other stuff. Eventually he started to believe it, and it was like, yeah, you hear something enough and eventually it sinks in, and that's a horrible thing. Yuki, it gets worse for Kid Yuki, we'll get to it, but jeez, he had it rough, it's fair to say. Yuki overhears some adults, but by the way, all these adults are talking very loudly and Yuki keeps overhearing them. They need to speak in more hush-hush tones, I think is what we're getting at. His parents are living it up after getting rid of him, basically, so that's not great. He saw, like, he was at a school above the other Zodiacs, but he looked outside and all of them were having fun, and he wasn't. He was just sitting in a car with his mum, his miserable mum. At his school, he didn't want to talk to anyone because he didn't want to be hated, because, you know, he's been told, hey, everyone hates you, everyone hates the rat, so if he talks to anyone, he thinks he's going to be hated. Eventually made some friends to play some footy. Footy is football or soccer to you Americans out there. He played some footy and he had a great old time, basically. Having such a great time, in fact, that he forgot to be careful of the girls. Some of them were somas, I should probably say. Be careful of girls, and he transformed in front of them and they had to have their memories erased and everything. And despite his begging, Akito said, don't delude yourself into thinking they're your friends. Their memories get erased despite Yuki begging not to have their memories erased because, hey, he finally has friends, and it kind of, yeah, not good. Later on, Kyo's hat blew to Yuki, but Kyo didn't want it back because he doesn't like Yuki and doesn't want to speak to him, basically. And then that's when we learned that the hat, Kyo's hat, is actually Yuki's hat that he gave to Toru. So, this whole three thing. So really, Toru's got to give it back to Yuki, and then I guess Yuki would give it back to Kyo. I'm getting my hat timeline going, right? Yeah, I think that's how it would go. Basically, then Yuki sort of breaks down after this and is like, I just wanted that happy life that everyone else got. I'm like, Yuki, man. Like, I'll be honest, Yuki hasn't been my favourite, despite being a main character, but I do like him, you know? Like, I don't think I realised how much he's grown on me, but, like, I'm more of a Kyo man myself. I think he's cooler. But Yuki, I was going to say Yuki might have had it rougher. Everyone's had it rough in this show. Even the ones that haven't had it rough, comparatively, still haven't had a fun time. So, yeah, poor Yuki. Big lots of tears is basically what happens at this part. Then Yuki got sick. That happened a lot. He was a sickly child, as we know. Akito visits. He's the only one that visits. What does he visit? He doesn't visit say, oh, you're alright, Yuki. He says, Yuki, are you going to die? With a big old Cheshire Cat grin on his face. Oh, I hate him. I hate him so much. Akito. No one else visited. We learn Kyo's mum has suicided at this point. We hear from a nurse who, again, speaking very loud. Yuki can overhear everything. Like, are they trying for Yuki to hear everything? What's going on? Akito tells him that Kyo and Haru and everybody hates him because he's the rat and all this other stuff. Lots of stuff happening. Next day, though, Yuki feels better. Well, his sickness is gone. I wouldn't say he feels better. We'll get to it. Jesus. Wants to return the hat, but he can't, obviously, because Kyo won't want to talk to him. And then we get dark. Like, I mean, I'm not surprised, considering the stuff Fruit Spark... But basically, Yuki, at this point, is what? 12, we'll say? Probably younger. He looks younger. And he's just like, yeah, I want to go away from the world. Yes, that's what you think it means. And I don't think I need to add much more to that, because Jesus, you know, I mean, he's had it rough, but God, you know, I'm not even going to attempt to unpack that, because there's a whole lot of stuff there. And he remembers Akito saying, are you going to die thing? And because of that, he smashes the mirror, like crushes it in his hand. Strong Yuki. And runs, and the music picks up, and he runs away from everything. It's a lot of running. And I mean, I was worried when he started running, because I was like, oh no, you know, don't do something drastic. I mean, I don't know why I was thinking that, 'cause we know he's alive and well in present time, but still, you get what I'm saying. It was a concern, but no, the running was sort of motivational in a way. In a way, is that the right way of saying it? Who knows? He's still wearing the hat at this point. It doesn't look good on him, as he says, but hats are cool, so good job, Yuki, on hats. After running for a good long while and running past a mysterious girl, I wonder who that could be, he runs into Toru's mum, shouting at the police to help her find her daughter. And it was quite funny. This was about the only humour that's in this episode. A very somber. It's not even somber, it was just a bit sad, really. The whole situation for Yuki was a bit sad. But yeah, Toru's mum likes Toru a lot and everything. And then Yuki, after watching this for a while, was like, I guess some parents do love their kids. And I'm like, oh, Yuki, Yuki, stop. But then he thinks, oh yeah, I saw that girl. And he goes to get her, this being Toru. He doesn't say anything because he's not afraid of her, but he doesn't want to turn into a rat again, basically. So what he does instead is she sees him and just keeps following him despite not knowing anything about him because, hey, that's a person. That's a link to civilization right there. Follows him around and everything, and when this is all going on, he was happy because she's relying on him to hope she needs him in that moment and everything, which is nice because, he's never had that before and he's been told that he's never had that before, basically. And then at the end, he plopped the hat on her head, as we've seen, I guess from Toru's brief memory of it, I guess, from earlier on. And that's him. Yuki was happy, he was useful, he went around the corner. He's turned into a rat now, I assume because he was sick, because he was like panting and wheezing at some point. So maybe he, wore himself out, so he turned into a rat. But hey, she got home, that's good. He knows there was a moment someone needed him, and that's good enough for him for right now. And he came back home and he was like, the world isn't just dark, it's not full of light, but it's not full of dark either. The world is shades of grey. And it's like, Yuki, you're like 10. You're too young to be learning these types of life lessons, damn it. I don't know how old he actually was. He probably said, and I probably missed it, it's essentially where it is. But hey, it's good to see that Yuki, for a while at least, had hope. And that's a nice thing. So this whole thing was Yuki reminiscing. He tells Kakeru the basics. He doesn't go quite as deep. We're in the present day now, I should say. He doesn't go, full in on everything when he's telling Kakeru, but he tells him some stuff. He tells him more than he's told most people, basically, which shows how good friends they are. However, he says, yeah, after a while, I started getting weak again, and he did, but he had hope for a while. And this part got me when he was like, all I really wanted was for Kyo to be my friend. I'm like, but, it got me. Then I was like, oh, that's so nice. But I hope they become proper friends. I like their cattiness towards each other, pun very much intended. But at this point, I just want them both to punch Akito or Shigure. They'll probably punch Shigure at some point because that was foreshadowed. I want a double wabam punch. I'm trying to find some humor, damn it, just let it happen. And then when he was hopeless again, who appeared before him? It was Toru again. What is she to him? She's like a wife. No, she's not. She's like a mother. Toru, get mother zoned. Which, I mean, completely. I thought for sure we were going the love triangle route. Don't know why I said it like that. With Kyo, Toru, Yuki. But hey, no, it doesn't look like that. Yuki is instead going to play the part of bemused son, I guess. Does that make Kyo his dad? Not literally, obviously, but just the way it's going. I get what they're saying, obviously. I'm just doing a bit here. Obviously, because Yuki never had a mother figure, His mum was kind of an asshole for the longest time. And is only now starting to act a bit less prickish. So, and Toru was mothering a lot. Like, Season 1 especially. Season 1, Toru was mothering everyone. Solving everyone's problems. It was great. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense that Yuki would see her that way. And hey, at least that means that we're not going to get a typical, love triangle, because I've seen too many of them, and it's nice to see. I would like to see Kyo get completely the wrong idea though. That would be kind of funny, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Who knows? And that was the end of the episode. It was another week. It was another week that hit you in the heart, and I mean I feel like those are most weeks when it comes to Fruits Basket, but that doesn't make it any less true. But anyway, let's get on to what was my favourite part of the episode. I don't even know what it is. I do though, but let's say I don't. My favourite part of the episode, in an episode that could have been described as the whole thing being my favourite part in inverted commas, because yeah, everything Yuki went through was terrible, and I'd feel bad if I called it my favourite, but you get what I'm saying. What it was basically Yuki, despite being on the edge of despair, he found hope again by helping Toru, basically, and I like that whole, his thought process through that, where he was like, she needs me right now. I can do this right now. In a way, it was almost selfish of him, but you're allowed to be selfish sometimes. Because in a way, he wasn't doing it to help Toru, he was doing it to help himself. And that's fine, that's not a bad thing. I think there is, being selfish and selfless, I think is fine. You can somehow be both, like Yuki was here, and I think that's okay. If helping people makes you feel good, and you're doing it for yourself, That's fine. If you're helping people but you're not trying to help, you get what I'm trying to say. If you're helping people to help yourself because it makes you feel good, that's alright, because you're helping everyone then, you know? And that's sort of what was happening here with Yuki. I thought it was good. That was my favourite part. It was quite emotional, the whole episode. And we got what, 4 weeks left, I think? This was a heart puller. A heart puller? That's not the term. That's the one we're going to use. This was a heart puller. But anyway, this was. I mean, when we get to the end, I'm going to be gutted because I know we're going to have to wait for season 3 because people have reliably informed me that there will be 3 seasons. People being just people on the internet like you and I, and all the other internet people. I'm gibbering now. Probably wrap this up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. I mean, when this is finished, I'm going to look back on it and be like, yeah, alright, I'm glad I watched that. I almost didn't watch Fruits Basket. Can you believe it? How different were my life? Pretty damn different. It'd be weird. It would be definitely very weird if I didn't watch it. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. Sorry if there was wind or anything. I've done my best to drown it out, but can't stop the wind. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I might have said that already. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye guys.